Hey everybody, it's Justin here with Purple Care, answering your lawn, landscape, and pest control questions. If your lawn looks thin, patchy, or lifeless, then this video is for you. Have you ever wondered how the NFL or the PGA golf courses actually keep their grass looking fantastic year round? It's a simple thing to actually learn how to do, and yet most homeowners will actually skip it. Here's what you might be doing wrong. When you see a patchy spot in your lawn, it's the first instinct is to, blame a lawn disease, maybe blame a pest, maybe blame it on the hot climate, or maybe even blame it on your lawn care company. So you fertilize, pull out weeds, water more often, hoping it will get better. But despite all that, NFL fields still look better than your lawn, and they've got 22 players running back and forth every other weekend. How do they do it? It's called top dressing. And by the way, this is my absolute favorite thing to do to a lawn because it works every time. If your grass is managing to grow in poor soil, then it will thrive after you do this. However, even homeowners who know the benefits of top dressing tend to mess it up the first time they try. They use the wrong compost, apply it too thick, which suffocates the lawn, or don't correctly care for their lawn after top dressing it. That's why today, I'm going to walk you through the exact top dressing formula to get healthy premium grass. At Purple Care, we've been perfecting this formula for over 31 years in collaboration with Texas A&M scientists. It's helped over 1,500 homeowners transform patchy, tired lawns within just a few weeks. You'll notice a smoother, more even texture, plus better water retention and drainage. But the benefits of top dressing will become even more obvious during the bad times. The best part about this is it doesn't matter how bad your lawn currently looks, top dressing is the first step to saving it. But before we get into the how-to, I want to explain why top dressing works so well, especially here in Texas. I want you to imagine, go back 10 million years ago, and you have a wide variety of species. You have different grass species, you have different plants, and they all are working together in that ecosystem, helping each other out. Some plants will actually provide nitrogen, some will provide shade, but they work together so that your soil is balanced. Imagine if the only thing you ate every day, all day, was one thing. You ate sweet potatoes every single day of your life, and that's the only thing you ever ate. Sweet potatoes are very healthy for a lot of people. However, it probably won't provide you with maybe all the nutrients that you need. That's exactly what's happening to your lawn. So the way Texas soil works against you is that all the nutrients are locked up because, again, we're missing that diversity with all the species. And the main reason that is we have what's called a monoculture, meaning that we have one plant where we use just Bermuda, we use just zoysia, we use just St. Augustine. Now, again, it looks neat, it looks beautiful. I love the way grass looks, but it also means there's a huge gap in the nutrition value for the soil. So what happens is there's actually plenty of nutrition in your current soil. Just in this very piece of ground I'm sitting on, in the soil outside, there's plenty of nutrition, but your plants or your grass does not have access to it. So there's like a root system around the nutrients, but it has no access. And the reason that is because your soil is unbalanced. When you top dress, you actually balance the soil. You're typically bringing down the pH. Typically in Texas, our pH is sky high, both because of our water and the lack of diversity. And so when that happens, the nutrients again are locked up and they don't have access to it. So what our soil does is, yes, it does feed the soil. Yes, it does blend well and open up the porosity, meaning that it can absorb more water. It's also better at draining, and it also loosens up that hard clay. It does all those things, but also it gives the plant, in this case, your grass, the actual access to the nutrients that were always there. They were there. They were there the whole time, but the plant didn't have access. And that's why dumping fertilizer on top over and over again is really not the answer. It's just giving it a quick burst of energy, if you will, kind of like when you just feed a kid nothing but candy. And yet it's really not a good long-term plan, if that makes sense. So when you balance the soil, everything works better. A lot of people don't understand that weeds are typically a cry for help by Mother Nature. They're saying, I need something. So if you see clover, you're going to notice that your lawn needs more nitrogen. And the reason is, again, it's unbalanced. So when your soil is balanced, there'll be less weeds naturally. When your soil is balanced, it will have access to more nutrients. Therefore, it's going to get you through the hard times versus struggling. So how does top dressing fix this? By adding premium organic material back into your soil, you restore what's missing, giving your lawn access to the nutrients that were always there. It's not just about making your grass greener today, it's about bringing the soil back to life so that your lawn can grow stronger, healthier, and more self-sustaining in the long run, the way nature intended. Here's what happens when you top dress the lawn. It breaks down thatch so your lawn can breathe properly. It balances the pH, making nutrients more available to your grass. It softens hard, compact soil so roots can finally spread deep and strong. It adds natural nutrients, meaning your grass gets fed the way nature intended. And lastly, fixes water absorption issues and moisture actually stays in the soil instead of running off. Ironically, the proper soil will help with drainage as well. So it actually helps with absorption and drainage both. As the months go by, the real benefits kind of start to kick in. Your lawn survives extreme heat and drought better. It fights off disease naturally without chemicals. It looks greener and fuller with less maintenance, but there's a right and a wrong way to top dressing. You can use the following 5-step formula to top dress your lawn for maximum growth and thickness. Step 1, mow your lawn short, but don't scalp it. Before you top dress, you should cut your grass down, but not too much. Set your mower to 1.5 to 2 inches and give your lawn a fresh cut. Shorter grass helps the top dressing reach the soil instead of just sitting on top. If your mower has a bag, collect the clippings. This helps keep your lawn clean so the top dressing can actually spread evenly. Now remember, in Texas, I do not recommend picking up your clippings, but in this application, it does make sense. Step 2, aerate your lawn, let it breathe. Now that your grass is cut, it's time to loosen up the soil so air, water, and nutrients can reach the roots. This step is called aeration, and it makes a huge difference on how well your lawn absorbs top dressing. Aerate the entire property. I recommend doing it very aggressively. Go east and west and north and south. After you aerate, you will have holes everywhere. It's gonna look pretty rough, but it will help you get results better. By the way, if you're doing this yourself, make sure you core aerate, not tine aerate your lawn. One will pull plugs, the other one will just poke holes and actually compact your soil. Step 3, spread the top dressing evenly. Now that your lawn is mowed and aerated, it's time for the most important step, adding the top dressing. Use high quality compost, sand, or a mix. Choose based on your soil type. Start by applying a thin layer about 1/4 to about 1/2 inch thick across the entire lawn. You can use a shovel, a bucket, a spreader, a wheelbarrow, whatever you need to distribute the soil evenly. Once the top dressing is down, rake it in smoothly to even out all undulation in your yard and let it blend into the soil. Make sure you can still see the tips of the grass poking through. If the layer is too thick, it can block sunlight and slow down the growth of your grass. Step 4, don't mow. Let the grass grow through. Let Mother Nature do its job. For the next 2 to 4 weeks, avoid mowing. The grass needs time to push through the top dressing and establish itself. Mowing too soon can stress the grass and slow down growth. Also, you can actually cause ruts in your lawn because we just added new soil. Lastly, in step 5, water and maintain for stronger growth. The final step is watering correctly to help everything settle and thrive. Right after top dressing, give your lawn a deep watering. This helps the soil absorb the nutrients and ensures the top dressing starts blending into the existing soil. Over the next few weeks, stick to a regular watering schedule of at least 2 to 3 times a week. If you follow all 5 steps, you will be on your way to a greener and healthier lawn. Now, before wrapping this up, I'd love to tell you a very quick story of a lawn that I ruined. We had a very large landscape project at one of my clients' locations. And we told the client up front that we were gonna have to use a lot of heavy equipment, and we laid down boards and we laid down things to try to mitigate any damage to the lawn. But we told them there's still gonna be damage to the lawn based on the amount of work that we had to do on that property. And we did exactly that. We ruined that lawn. The client, of course, asked, what are you gonna do about this section? And we said, don't worry, we're just gonna top dress this entire area that we completely ruined, and your grass will be fine. And so when we got done, he looked at it and said, it looks like you just spread dirt everywhere. Is this really gonna work? And we assured him, just be patient, it's gonna work. Let's fast forward 1 year later. He actually called me and said, hey, I'd like you to come back out. I want you to put that soil that you put down in that area, I want it all over my entire property. I'm like, well, sure, I'd be happy to do that. Can I ask why you're calling about that? And he said, that area that you guys destroyed, that you guys put that dirt down, is now the thickest, greenest part of my lawn. And I want it everywhere because I think that soil is absolute magic. And I want it everywhere. And we did. And that guy's lawn is thick and beautiful to this day. I always encourage homeowners to top dress their lawn, whether we do it or they do it themselves. You can go down to a composter and typically get a decent soil. It may not be the best soil, but it will be a decent soil. And anything that you get at a composter is typically better than the soil we have here in Texas, and it will help balance. However, if you're looking for a premium blend that I know will work, we actually sat down with 2 A&M scientists and a composter, and we developed what I think is by far the best soil in Texas. Why? We're very familiar with the soil type here in Texas. We know that pH needs to be lowered, and we know exactly what we have to add to our compost mix to make sure that it brings your soil back alive. And remember, when your soil's alive, your grass is naturally going to pull nutrients from that soil, which is just making it alive and making it better. All we're doing is enhancing that. We've tested this mix on hundreds of lawns across North Texas, and it works every single time. Not 90% of the time, not 95. It works every time. And you won't find it in any store. But if you want guaranteed top dressing results, we at Purple Care would be happy to call you a client. Feel free to check us out at purplecare.com. Thanks for listening.